defining success, just getting home from the market. And that's kind of been one or topic that I've been wanting to talk to you guys for a while now. I get a lot of people always hitting me up about getting into this type of business. Actually, you know what? I gotta still work, so we're gonna talk as I work. Anyhow, get hit up with a lot of different questions, man, just about how much you can make. A lot of it just pretty much is revolving around money. Very important topic, and it's very important to know those numbers, but I just kind of want to throw it out there that, you know what, like, this type of business, although it can be lucrative and there's people that are making a lot of money, you got to understand the way that a farm kind of like makes money. If you're pulling down $100,000, that doesn't necessarily mean that $100,000 is going into your pocket, right? There's a lot of overhead costs on a farm. There's a lot of things that you need to kind of think about before you get into this business, right? And so I say that just because a major part of this is like, this is kind of like my lifestyle. You know what I mean? I don't know that I would be growing nearly as many microgreens or salad crops as I am right now, but I would definitely be growing some of them, right? I would just be growing. That's just it's just part of me. That's just what I did. It's kind of, I got bit by this bug and I kind of went off and started doing what I wanted to do. So a lot of this is actually my lifestyle. So anyway, when it came to me defining my success, it was pretty much doing what it is that I'm doing now. I wanted to have my own house. I wanted to have my own micro farm on top of that house. Finding your success. Man, I think that that's a question that anybody getting ready to get into any business should be asking themselves. You know, what is it that I want to get out of this business? What does it take for me to accomplish, for me to say that, hey, this business is now a success, I'm happy where this business is in the direction in which this business is going. Hold on. Yeah, I think that that's a really big question that should be asked, and not just one time, you know what I'm saying? Not just the first time you write down your business plan. For me, I think, you know, something that you shouldn't be afraid to visit, you know what I'm saying? To define your success. That success is going to change along the way. It's not necessarily that it's going to change along the way, but what's going to change is that you're going to start seeing that you're starting to accomplish a lot of the goals that you set forth to make this business what it is that you want. And I think a lot of times that those little milestones that you cross are very important, and that you need to kind of pay attention to those things, right? And understand that you are getting to where you want to get to. At the beginning, you know, you're going to be putting in a lot of extra work. You're going to be doing a lot of things that I now, at this point in time, no longer have to do. But at the same time, there's still things that I do have to do. And that's kind of what pushed me to actually do this video for you guys. For the longest time, I used to always wonder, like, how in the hell am I going to get out of Saturdays? I don't know why I couldn't get my head wrapped around that. But eventually I did. And I was like, oh, okay, this is what I need to do. So even though I'm working right now, I'm loading the rest of my truck, but that's all I have to do. Why? Because I came in and a lot of this stuff was already done for me. And that was something that I used to wrestle with, dude. Like, for the longest time, like, I was feeling as though I wasn't successful for whatever reason, because I was working on the weekends, you know. My past life, I didn't work the weekends. It was something that I really enjoyed, and it's something that I'm doing my best to kind of get back to now. But the natures of a farmer's market, at least for me, doesn't work out that way. So what I'm doing is, again, figuring out ways to make that goal be manifested for me. And I'm on it. I mean, yeah, I mean, my work right now is very, very minimal. I have very little to do as compared to when, you know, I did have to come in here, flip the trays, load the truck, do whatever else I needed for the juice bar, blah, 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 blah. Now, for the most part, everything's done, and I'm gonna go inside the chiller. I thought I'd just throw a couple of these trays in the van. One of the illest quotes came from one of my old pastors back in the day. It still rings true with me to this day, and that was, keep your plans in sand and your goals in concrete. That's a huge one. Be patient with yourself. I guess this is more than just defining your success, but I think it's how to get your success defined, if you will, you know what I'm saying? How to manifest that success. These are the things I've been doing. There's times where this is a lot more challenging than other times. You know, over time, you slowly begin to acquire tools and techniques, and a lot of you guys that have been watching these videos are now applying a lot of techniques, seeing what's going to work for you, because just because I show you how to do something here that works for me doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for you. But at least my hopes is that it gives you somewhat of a catalyst or a way to think about the problem that you might be facing at hand. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of the best thing that I can really do for you. Like David Goggins says, basically keeps his cookies in the cookie jar, so when you do get to certain milestones, you can look back after you've accomplished them and eat that cookie when times are a little bit rougher than what you want them to be. You can look back at obstacles that just popped up all of a sudden and how you got, how you came around that. Oftentimes too, you got to remember the first time is often the hardest time. And a lot of times it's hard to go back around to that or to do something that was really hard for us the last time we did it. Because you've now paved that little beginning to a system or to a plan that maybe, next time you go around to actually having to do this task or whatever it is, it shouldn't be as hard. Just little things like that, dude, to remember. Keep in mind when you're going through this. You can just keep up the good fight. It's just one of those things, guys, I think that you really need to keep in mind. Not necessarily the success, whatever that multi-million dollar you might hit, whatever the size of that farm you might want. Always keep that up in your mind, but understand the levels and the rungs that you are climbing, or milestones, whatever, man. Those things, those goals that you are accomplishing, make sure that you're remembering those goals that you're accomplishing as you climb up those rungs. I feel that in a lot of ways, it keeps you inspired to keep on getting after your goals. And what's really cool about this whole Saturday thing is I pretty much could have had this all done if I wanted to. Everything could have been done for me, but I didn't need it to be. There's still things that I kind of need to think about before I, just say, hey, go do this, go do that, because of training, because of revenue. But yeah, this is awesome, dude. Like, this is a huge one for me, finally being able to see just the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, oh shit, like soon I probably won't even need to do this on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? It's nice. Seeds are here. I just wanted to put that out there. Something that's kind of just been on my mind. I hope you guys crushed it today. I'll talk to y'all soon, man. Peace.